Good evening from Bangkok, everyone. It's Anifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, you are in my current bedroom, and welcome. and I'm here because I'm actually very close to an airport, for one thing, so you're probably still going to hear some noise through my windows. But I also am in a very hot climate right now. So here, if I thought Bali was hot, I certainly see that Bangkok is very similar. And I thought it's time to get a new video out to you. So today, I thought I would help explain something that's been coming up in a lot of my sessions with clients and even conversations with friends. So this is the difference between emulate and imitating. So imitating and emulating, imitating and emulating. What is the difference? So I thought I'd start with this fun quotation to begin with, and it says, "Sparrows who emulate peacocks are likely to break a thigh." Sparrows who emulate a peacock are likely to break a thigh. And so we can imagine that a sparrow's form is a little different than a peacock. And of course, it's completely different if we really look at it, that there's really quite a different stature, there's different feathers, there's different plumage, there's all of that. And that will happen with ourselves in terms of people too, that one person will be really well versed in one thing, another person will be really well versed in another thing. So if the other person is trying to imitate one person, they'll think, well, they're a person and I'm a person. So just like a bird thinks, well, they're a bird and I'm a bird. But there's different equipment that we come through. And I thought, because this is coming up so regularly, I thought I would read a couple of other quotes for you. And one of the ones that I thought was quite good is this one by Epictetus. And it says, "One of the best ways to elevate your character is to emulate worthy role models." One of the best ways to elevate your character is to emulate worthy role models. Worthy role models. Now, worthy in your eyes might be different than worthy in my eyes. But when we see role models that inspire us, that encourage us to be better somehow, those are probably worthy role models for ourselves. And just because others might not agree doesn't mean that we are unaware of what we perceive as worthy role models. And it was interesting, I was hearing this lecture just the other day, and I really like this line, so I have to share it with you. It said, "You can't go to bed as an engineer and wake up as a doctor." You can't go to bed as an engineer and wake up as a doctor. Now imagine, that sounds kind of obvious. Of course, we can't do the other opposite too. So you can't go to bed as a doctor and wake up as an engineer is also true. But we could put in any two professions, and even the closer we get professions, so we might say you can't go to bed as a physiotherapist and wake up as a doctor. So we think both are healthcare. You also can't go to bed as a fantastic doctor and become fantastically spiritual. And this is so interesting because many people think, well, I just have to learn the information and I can be exactly what they are, and that's true, learning the information. I remember when I had become a naturopathic doctor and I was invited to medical schools to speak. Oftentimes I'd be giving a 2 or 3 hour lecture, maybe on nutrition, maybe on a lot of different naturopathic principles. It could be a combination of all 7 modalities of naturopathy. And suddenly, at the end of that lecture, I'd have all of these medical doctors saying, okay, so now I can practice this. And I remember being shocked that, wow, I have just learned for 4 years, and what they're learning in 3 hours, they feel like they're going to also be a naturopathic doctor. And we do this in life for a lot of different things. And I thought I would also mention this quotation. And this is by Dr. Prem Jagyasi. I thought it was a good thing to reflect on. So it says, "Before suggesting how other people should lead their lives, develop a clear idea about making your life exemplary and inspiring enough for others to emulate." Now, does this make sense? I'm going to read that one more time. It says, "Before suggesting how other people should lead their lives, develop a clear idea about making your life exemplary and inspiring enough for others to emulate. Now, this is so useful that, for one thing, we're really used to ego minds that will criticize and nitpick of, you should have done this way, or you should be like this, or why don't you do this? And we're so used to this. So whether we've heard it from families, whether we've heard it from friends, whether we've heard it from workplaces, this is a very common interaction that many people experience. And if we come back to first knowing what's the clear idea about ourselves and how to make our own lives exemplary and inspiring enough for others to emulate. So in this idea of, oh, who should I imitate because I find this an exemplary role model, how about seeing what are the qualities that would allow me to be an exemplary role model? And that is a beautiful place to start, as opposed to the natural inclination for many people that start looking at something that they admire or like and thinking, well, I could do that. And most people will do this for anything that they haven't practiced. And I would encourage us all to take that self-responsibility to be the best that we can be. And yes, if we see examples around us that inspire us, fantastic, and know that there's work to be done. So I thought for this video, I would end with this quotation, and I hope that all of this that I've shared with you will be something that you can reflect on and see how you can improve on your own inspirational actions, thoughts, words towards others, people closest to you and people that are just strangers that you meet on the street. We can be as exemplary a role model as we choose to be if we actually put some thought and effort into what we're doing. This one I just thought was also a really fun quotation, and it says, this is by Tim Fargo, and it says, "Don't envy what people have, emulate what they did to have it." Don't envy what people have, emulate what they did to have it. And so it comes right back to the beginning of this video that I wanted to make sure that we're talking about. Don't imitate, emulate. And what is the ability to emulate might be a thought that's coming up in your mind as you're listening to this. And I thought I would read this definition. It's from the APA Dictionary of Psychology. APA, American Dictionary of Psychology, American Psychological Association is APA. This dictionary says this for the ability to emulate. This is the ability to comprehend the goal of a model and engage in similar behavior to achieve that goal without necessarily replicating the specific actions of the model. Emulation facilitates social learning. Emulation. So we know that it's so much easier to imitate. Oh, they did this, they took these steps, and that's what I have to do. Emulating is making it your own. And you would think, well, is there a book for that? No. This is the thing. It's about learning and understanding, what has a person gone through? What am I going through? Am I just looking at their example and thinking, well, that looks easy enough, because most of us will do that? Or am I understanding my situation and seeing how to get to the goal that I'm seeing? That is a perfect example for this mind. And I would, of course, encourage us that we look at ourselves, look at the examples around us that are beautiful role models, and then emulate. We'll never be able to speak the same as someone else. We'll never be able to act the same way as someone else, but we will be able to be the best of ourselves. And when we have some role models around us, or gurus, or teachers, or leaders, we can emulate and not imitate, and that brings out the best of ourselves. Today, I hope that today you will focus on emulating and not imitating, and recognizing there's some work to be done. I'm here to help. If you need any help, you know how to reach me. And until we speak or see each other again here, I wish you a fantastic evening, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.